What's up, beautiful people? It is me, Coach T, and welcome to another edition of The Lit Life. You meet me here to talk life, faith, accountability, and all things personal growth. I am a certified life coach for those of you who don't know, and I'm also your Lit Productions founder. Lit is your premier space for faith based personal development, okay? So when you think lit, think personal development 101. We're coming here to partner our faith with our works so we can get to action and get the job done, okay? So I'm so excited that you are here with me today. So excited to get into the content with you today. So buckle up and let's get started. I like to start the episodes off with a little bit of thought. Everything we do over here is about thinking and provoking thought, right? Because without thought, how are you really moving through this world, right? Thoughts are how we move. Thoughts are even the things that we take to God to discern through. Like, God, this is what I'm thinking. What you think about this? Right? We get into God's word so we can transform the way that we're thinking so we can get alignment with Him, okay? So here's a quote for you today. When you're kind to others, it not only changes you, it changes the world. Let's read that one more time. When you're kind to others, it not only changes you, it changes the world. That's a quote from Rabbi Harold Kushner. Rabbi Harold Kushner. Okay, you guys, let's get to it. Here we are. We are in the second quarter of 2023. For anybody who's worked with me, you know I'm all about the quarter system because to me it helps you measure. Okay, it helps you measure what are you actually doing. Are you hitting the target? Are you far off of the mark? What's going on? What needs to be revisited? So the quarter system, really quickly, for anyone who isn't familiar, is just a way to break down your year into sizable chunks, I like to say. So for instance, quarter one would be January, February, March. So that means quarter two would be April, May, June. So we're midway point in quarter two, right? That means after June, we're halfway through 2023. What's going on with you? What's going on with your goals? Where's your life right now? If you don't take the time to get still before God, if you don't take the time to get still and actually answer those questions for yourself, it's going to be really, really easy for you to miss the mark. It's very, very easy to miss shots that you don't take. Can you hear me? It is very, very easy to miss shots that you don't take. But it's also just as easy to miss shots that you're not aiming for. So if I'm shooting the opposite direction of the basket, how many of you guys think I'm going to make that shot? What's the percentage that I'm going to make that shot? Is it almost the same as me not taking a shot at all? What if I consecutively get up and make shots in the opposite direction and then I get mad when somebody offers me strategy and says, well, at least I'm trying, mind your business? Doesn't make sense, does it? So that's what I want to talk to you guys about today. We're going to talk about SMART goals. Now, I know you heard this before, especially if you're in the personal development space. But let me say this to you. One thing I know for sure about a goal is repetition is key, right? You don't get good by just exerting energy. You get good by practicing the methods over and over and over again, okay? So we're going to revisit the SMART method just like I'm wanting you to practically revisit your goals. Maybe you don't have any goals. Revisit the vision that God has given you. Revisit. That's the point of today. We're going to revisit some things so we're making sure we're on task and on target. It's a whole lot of stuff going on. It's a whole lot of people talking. It's a whole lot of people doing. I want to know how many of those people have strategy. How many people are partnering thought with their action? And more specifically for you, right? I want you to slow down And I want you to really put thought and prayer into God. What do I need in this season? Because what you need and what I need are two totally different things, friends, okay? So what's our favorite word over here? I'm from Oakland, California, so y'all know, right? What's my favorite word? It's not that. My favorite word is accountability. Coach Tiff's favorite word is, say it with me, accountability. Why? Because accountability is all about taking ownership. And I love that. I love not being a victim. I absolutely love it. It's something empowering to me to know that I have a choice in deciding the way that I want to go. Okay? So we're going to use some exercise, some accountability, and we're going to make assessments in our life. But we're going to revisit these SMART goals, okay? So you guys, this is nothing new. You've heard this before. SMART goals, right? Okay, the S stands for specific. Specific. Let's get specific as possible. So I'm going to use me as a case study, okay? I've been working out. The goal this year for my health, another thing that I do, not to confuse you guys, but another thing that I do in my own personal development is I look at my life via categories, and I use the 7 pillars of wellness. So every year I make assessments, I write them down, and I'm checking them all. Really, I'm checking them sometimes weekly. Depending if I'm really not doing good, I might check them daily, because I want to constantly be aligning myself with the goal, right? Or reassessing, readjusting the goal. So this year, one of the goals was to get my physical fitness up. So that required, working out, right? Putting the reps in, putting the time in. However, at the same time, I had an unforeseeable event that popped up with my car, right? So unreliable car, I was getting up. I was getting after it before the car, right? Up at 4:00 in the morning to my workout, getting the workout in, going to work, and I loved it. I loved the way I felt. I loved the consistency of it, right? Well, the car situation popped, and that kind of made me, it made me readjust the way that I was going to get it in, right? And then what I started seeing also is I was falling off with the eating part. So I was working out, but the eating wasn't on point. Okay, so SMART. We need to measure this goal. What are we actually doing? Why are we doing it? Right? Well, in my family bloodline, diabetes runs in the family, high blood pressure runs in the family. I don't want that. I don't want to be pricking my finger and be worried about that kind of stuff. But me not wanting it isn't enough, right? There's something that I have to do about it. But being specific, right? These specifics are going to help me understand the why, right? Why are you doing this, Tafanya? Right? Why are you doing this? Blank, insert your name. Why? The next thing is measurable, right? So how much is this going to take? What is it going to require of me, right? So financially, if I'm going to be working out, that's a gym membership, right? So I'm doing a couple things this year. I'm doing kickboxing, I'm doing the gym, and I also was doing Orange Theory, right? Well, I had to make some reassessments with that, because I loved all 3 of those things, but it's like, are all 3 of these things being effective now that I got the other situation going on with my car? Am I able to get to everyone? I have to measure that, right? So I know for me personally, solo workouts I'm not motivated enough to do that. I need to meet people. I need to be where other motivated people are to get it done, right? So now I know that about myself. So it don't make no sense to say I'm going to go to the gym alone at 5:00 in the morning, because the truth is, studies have shown I'm absolutely not going to do that. Right? Appreciate if somebody else is motivated enough to do that, but me, I'm not motivated enough to do that, right? What I will say is, though, as I was doing more group workouts, I started getting more motivated to do it on my own, right? But knowing what you're actually going to do, what you're actually willing to pay, what you're actually willing to put out, what you can afford, all these things are really, really key. And the whole point of doing these SMART goals is we want to actually obtain them. We don't want to just be talking. We want an effective strategy that's actually going to yield us results, right? So that means we have to be specific, not just like I'm going to, go to the gym 2 times for what, right? I want to lose 10 pounds by this date, okay? Or I want to have my blood levels at this level, right? Because I don't want to get these diseases that run in my family. Have to be specific. It has to be measurable. It has to be ambitious. What's the point of setting a goal that you're not even motivated to reach? Okay? Has to be ambitious, something you're excited about, something that you're willing to put on the vision board. And after you yield the results, you're going to feel like turned up. Like, yeah, I did that. If not, what's the point? It needs to be reachable, something that you can actually obtain. Don't be saying you're going to have a 6-pack in 1 week. You're going to drive yourself crazy doing that, right? And I'm just using me as a case study with the working out, but it could be, you could have all kind of goals. I want to have 10 new clients in my business in a week. Do you got the system set up? Are you specific on how that's going to happen? Have you measured it? Are you turned up? Because you going to be turned up to get that done. Are you ready to put in the work to get that done? Make sure it's reachable. And then T, time bound. This is really, really important, because otherwise we talking into infinity. We speaking into outer space. We echo into this chamber of nothingness, right? Make it something that you can actually have a deadline, if that makes sense, right? Like when I was writing my book, I'm going to have this draft back to you for editing by this date. I'm going to review the edits by this date. If not, where's the ending? There's no ending in sight. And the Bible says hope deferred makes the heart sick. Okay? So I want you to be smart about your goals. I want you to be smart about the things you're putting out there. And this correlates to vision. Okay? In a training, and one of the clients, we were discussing this, and one of the participants in the training, she was talking about something that you could tell she was passionate about, and that's a key. Do you actually care about the thing? If you're not passionate about it, it's going to be really, really hard to achieve a goal. But because she was so passionate about it, it was like she lit up. Lit, right? We lit. Okay, she lit up. And it got me excited, and I wanted to learn more about it because she was so locked in and tapped in and was so informed about it, right? It inspired and sparked something in me. So whatever goals you're setting for yourself, make sure they're smart, but make sure they're lit too. Make sure they light you up inside. Make sure it's something that you actually care about, because this is going to require something of you. And the SMART goal, if the vision is the blueprint, the SMART goal is the foundation, right? Your faith is the foundation, but that SMART goal is what's going to build it, right? It's going to build on top of the faith, okay? Because faith without works is what? Dead. You already know, okay? So I love you. This is your growth talk for today. I pray that it inspires you. I pray that it gives you something to motivate you, but more importantly, I pray it gives you something to think about. Think. We got to be thinking people in this season, okay? If you know you need support with this, if you know you're looking for someone to come alongside of you